Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be starting the subframe reinforcements. So I got the car up in the air. I got it jacked up and put on jack stands, just the rear. So first I'm going to be taking off the axle back portion of the exhaust. Alright, so I've already gotten the nuts loosened for the hangers and stuff. So I'm just taking off the nuts and bolts right here. And on this side, I actually did custom work. I did V-band clamps to replace the flanges because they were completely rusted on this side. And they're completely rusted on this side too. So at the end, when I put everything back, I'm going to need to weld on stuff on this side to repair it. Alright, so guys, so next day, got a mask on because the pollen is really bad and I got allergies. So before we are able to remove the subframe, got to disconnect the e-brake cables. So I just got a 12 mil to hold the bottom nut down and then a 9 mil to loosen the top one. Alright, so now these can go, they can just get pulled out from the underside and then should be ready to start removing the subframe. Alright, so the e-brake cables, they go into like this tube. So I just pulled for both of them, I just pulled it out of the clips right there. And sometimes they kind of get stuck. You just gotta, just kind of like wiggle it around and try to get it out. Like how I got this one out already. Here's what it looks like. Got both of them out. So just pulled the e-brake cables out of these things that hold it in place. So that's good. Okay, so I'm going to start removing these the lower control arms from this side so that I can feed the brake calipers through in between right here. So the plan is to disconnect the axles. I'm not going to drop the entire subframe, diff, and all this stuff as one piece because it's going to be really heavy and I just want it to be easier to handle. So I'm going to be taking off all of this as like one piece, kind of like the whole like brake assembly right here with the axle and spring perch and trailing arm. So I'm going to take all that off as one piece and then remove the diff and then the subframe, so that'll be like 3 separate parts. Alright, so now I'm taking off the bolts for the axles and just got some Torx bits right here to take them off. They're like super like greasy or oily. So I got brake clean right here. And here they are. Sway bar is kind of in the way, so I'll take off the other side too. It's just getting my eyes, but don't want to wear some safety glasses because they get fogged up because of my mask, and I kind of need the mask so my allergies don't kill me. So I got the sway bar disconnected from here, so I just gotta take them off of the spring perches like this. Alright, so I got the sway bar off. Now I gotta loosen the trailing arm. Alright, so I got the trailing arm, I got it off. So the left side is done, driver's side. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on the passenger side. And then I'm gonna remove the diff from everything first and then drop the entire subframe and all the suspension stuff all as one unit. So I think you don't have to take the diff off, but I'm gonna just do that to make it easier to handle. And yeah, so you've already seen everything, so I'm just gonna repeat it on this side, so time lapse. Alright, so I got the nuts loose that connects the drive shaft to the diff, and then I got the 3 bolts that hold the diff to the subframe, so I'm pretty much ready to drop the diff. Alright, diff is out. I think it's super heavy, so I'm pretty happy that I took this out before dropping the subframe. So now just gotta drop the subframe. Alright, so right now you can see the subframe. Everything that's connecting to the subframe to the chassis is removed, but it's not falling down, right? There's nothing supporting it, but it's still stuck up there. And it's because the subframe is kind of resting like this, and then that that tilt is putting enough pressure onto the studs that hold the front of the subframe in, and then that's kind of holding it in place. So that means I need to lift the rear half up to kind of even it out so it can slide down. So I'll just show you the process. Alright, so we're under the car now, so all of the suspension parts are removed except for the shocks. So right now I'm gonna just use a wire wheel attachment on this angle grinder and start grinding down the area to clean it up and get ready for welding. So I'm just gonna time lapse this, and yeah, I'll get to it. Alright, so I got everything grinded down like this. Sprayed some weld through primer on the front ones. I haven't done the trailing arm pockets because I found out that I'm actually missing the reinforcement plates, even though I ordered the entire kit from Garagistic. I guess they just forgot. So I'm gonna need to order a new one. I think it's been too long to ask for like a replacement one from them, so I'll just buy another one. And then I've also gotten right here the sway bar reinforcement plates right here. I've got everything grinded down, so it's pretty much ready to weld. And here's my welding setup. It's just the basic Amazon starting welder, and I got some gas right there. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on welding. Alright, so got the weld through primer I'm going to spray only one side of each of the plates because it's going to be the side that's touching the body of the car. Alright, so for the rear subframe mounting points, you see there are these like little dimples in there. I think so. There's the hole in there with the threads. So the piece that has the threads, I think it's connected to the chassis of the car with spot welds, and maybe the stress from the chassis from just driving is like pulling these upwards, so it's like causing those like little indentations. I'm not sure. That's what I think is happening. See it on both sides, so I think I'm just going to fill those up with weld and then clean it up with the angle grinder and flap disc, and then start reinforcing it. Okay, so I got 3 out of 4 of the main ones welded in. I'm not going to be doing the trailing arm ones because Garagistic forgot to send me them. So these 4 is all I have right now. So the welds look pretty good on the spots that I could get a good angle on. But for the other ones, it was kind of tough, so it looks ugly. So for this side, there's this plastic tube that goes from the the fill cap into the gas tank. So since I'm going to be welding really close to it, I got this it's like a welding sleeve you put around your arm so you won't get burned. So I just got that. I zip tied it to the tube, and then I also have this welding blanket covering the gas tank. So yeah, make sure you do not set your car on fire. All right, so looking at these bushings, you can see that the size is the same size as these like washers, so we can use that as a reference for how much we need to grind down the welds. Just using the stud to line it up, you can see that the circle does not touch any of the welds, so I shouldn't need to grind down any of these. Now if we do that for the front, you can see it actually overlaps right around here on this edge. So that means we're going to have to grind down these welds a little bit just to make sure that it's perfectly flush with the rest of the flat plate. So I'm just going to clean it up with the angle grinder, and then I can start painting over this. I've cleaned up all the spots with the angle grinder and wire wheel and also a wire brush. So now I'm going to start spraying some primer. Alright, did a few coats of primer, so now I'm gonna spray paint it black. Alright, back under the car. So I actually finished everything and put everything back together, but a friend reminded me that I did not put seam sealer over my welds. So got the subframe out, diff, all that stuff is out again. So I just cleaned it up, sprayed some primer, and then yeah, I'm gonna put some seam sealer on it and then paint it black. And then everything's going back in. Alright, so all the seam sealer is dried up, and you can see that I make sure to get on the inside too, because I've seen some YouTubers put seam sealer on but they don't get inside in the hole. So I just did that on all of them. I just double checked that all the studs and bolts are able to go through with no interference, so it's good. So now I'm just going to finish it off with some black spray paint. I'm gonna let all that dry and then probably hit it with another 1 or 2 more coats, and it should be good. I can put everything back. So next, I just got to put everything back in, and it's pretty much the same process as taking it off, but just in reverse. So I'm probably not going to record any of that because you know, you've already seen it. And yeah.